Yo, welcome to Life with the Alterverse. This is episode 6 and this is a UB on the mic.
I'm Mohsin.
And we have a special guest, Harry.
Yeah, special guests introduce themselves, Mohsin. You don't need to do it. Right, what's on the agenda today? Amir Khan. Amir Khan, was it? He's going up 2 divisions, is he?
Is it 2 divisions?
Is it 2?
Well, he's definitely...
Well, technically, yeah. Technically. It's fine at 155, isn't he? So
yeah.
Junior, was it junior middleweight, 154?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So if junior middleweight's 154, he's fighting 155.
So technically, yes, he has moved up 2 weight divisions.
He's fighting in the middleweight ranges and he's got titles on the line, isn't it?
And he's fighting Canelo Alvarez,
right,
who is an amazing boxer. Last time I saw him fight, he got schooled by Mayweather. But that's Mayweather, right? That's Mayweather. That's Mayweather. If Khan fought Mayweather, he'd be on the floor.
Yeah.
So I mean,
most likely.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. So
I mean, Mayweather's a guy who schooled Pacquiao, who was considered one of the other pound for pound best. So obviously Mayweather's just a notch above everyone else.
It's just a different league. Forget about him. We're not going to talk about him.
With Canelo, the thing is, he's a dangerous fighter, isn't it? I mean, he's a knockout puncher. He's one of them. If he connects one. And the problem with Amir Khan that he's had is when he gets touched on that chin, it's not a pleasant night, is it?
It's not. And to think Canelo Alvarez, they say he's probably going to walk into the ring around 175, 180. I'm not too sure what Khan's natural weight is or what weight he walks around in, but that's heavy.
Yeah. The
weight advantage Amir Khan says is not going to play a part. Now where he's coming from when he says that, I have no idea. I have no clue. But he did say he's going to study the Mayweather and Canelo fight. But to me have you really got the boxing IQ to do what Mayweather did to Canelo?
You know what?
That's the question.
You know what? He can study that fight all he likes. He's probably not even going to be able to figure shit out.
You know the thing is that we're forgetting though is Amir Khan has speed.
Yeah,
he's got speed, but what he's previously lacked is the discipline. So he stops paying attention. And if you stop paying attention against a professional just for a split second in that ring,
okay, fine. He's got speed, but he's going up 2 weight classes. What's that going to do to his speed?
No, so speed. He's got speed. He's got decent power.
Yeah.
He's been away for a long time. He's been out of the ring for a long time. Potentially, I mean, he might have packed on some muscle or something. You never know. You don't know what type of Amir Khan is going to show up. You might have speed with a bit of added power, and also with him not having to cut much weight, it normally means a better showing. Normally, it means a better showing from a lot of people. So, but I think for me, it's an exciting fight. But I think what I'm going to be looking out for is can he avoid the knockout?
He's got to stay out of range.
Yeah, I mean, for me, a lot of people are just writing him off straight off the bat, not even giving him a chance. But you mentioned his speed. Now, I agree. He's probably the fastest boxer in the world today. But the thing is, can he use that speed to his advantage?
He's not got the footwork. He's not got the footwork.
His footwork is literally non-existent for me. It's literally no lateral movement. You do the in and out.
Yeah. So
I say, I mean, he needs to go to the tactic, stick a move, right? And he's not. I can't see him doing it.
I saw Canelo fight Lara.
Yeah.
The problem with Lara was he's a very good boxer. He's got decent movement. His footwork's good. He's got a lot of speed.
Very technical.
He's very technical. He was jabbing. All night long. For about 5 rounds, he was winning the fight. And then Canelo switched on, and Canelo he's kind of like one of those guys. He's a slow starter. He switched on, and what he started to do is he started to walk through his punches. He would take 3 or 4 to give 1 or 2. And once he started landing those body shots, he was just winning the rounds because then Lara didn't want to open up anymore. Now the issue is when Khan gets connected with a few, is he going to either shut down or is he going to keep coming forward and potentially get knocked out? So I mean, the whole thing here is
none of the above, because as soon as he gets hit, he's going to be laying on the floor.
No, people lay into him for having a glass chin, right?
Yeah.
But I think he doesn't. Because I mean, if you look at the evidence of his last few fights, he has got hit, right? But he's kept on going. Like,
we're saying that when we fought Chris Algieri, if that's how you pronounce his name even.
Yeah.
I think Chris
Algieri has no power whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right? He's literally a Paulie Man analogy. Paulie was obviously a lot better, but I see him. He shook Khan a few times in that fight.
He shook him.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I think Khan doesn't have a chin, but
He definitely made him take a few steps back.
Yeah. Normally, it shouldn't matter that he doesn't have a chin because he should be good enough with his footwork not to even get tested. That his chin shouldn't even be touched. Remember Mayweather versus anybody? Just Mayweather versus anybody.
Yeah.
How often have you seen Mayweather in trouble? Hardly ever.
Recently, the only time I've seen even Mayweather bleed was against Miguel Cotto. That was the last time I actually seen him bleed from his nose.
And we were shocked. Remember we watched that fight and we were like, oh my god, he's bleeding. I remember I was watching that fight thinking, oh god, is he bleeding? Yeah. And it was a shock because I mean, we've been watching boxing and MMA a long time, yeah? We see people bleed, but we just don't see Mayweather bleed. So that's why with Amir Khan, he should really be working on his footwork. He should, get his speed up to par, get a bit of strength behind him, but just footwork. That's how he's going to win this fight.
The thing for me is, you know what? I seriously think Amir Khan's played it clever. Because he's moving up to 155.
Yeah.
He's barely had any fights at 147.
Yeah.
If he loses, it's like, fine, yes, I moved up 2 weight divisions, I lost. Go back to 147 and fight there. If he wins...
He's beat one of the best guys.
Exactly. Right, so it's a win. For me, it's a win-win situation for him. I think he's played really clever.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think he went for just a big pay round.
Payday.
Yeah.
Possibly. See, the thing is...
Because I don't think he has the boxing skills to beat him.
A lot of people have also been questioning why he's been out for so long. But I think being out in your prime for a while, just to get that rest, it might be a good thing to give you that bit of longevity. The other thing
it depends on what he was doing in his time.
Probably eating hamburgers and, just...
Chilling out his wife's nightclub and all that type of shit.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, hopefully he's been keeping himself healthy. And he should have been at least training. As an example, Jordan Bones Jones has been out for how long? Over a year.
Quite a while, yeah.
And, oh my god.
He's ripped now.
Oh, he's shredded.
Yeah, but he was training in that time.
He was using that time just to work on technique, to train. Obviously, he was relaxing with the family, etc.
Yeah.
But he was just when he
came
out onto Instagram with that picture.
Yeah, the best example of this is again Mayweather.
Yeah.
Right, he's retired. He's still training.
Yeah.
And here's Amir Khan. He wants to fight Mayweather. He's going after him for years.
Yeah.
And just look at what they do in the time off. Contrast it. Yes, Mayweather probably spends his whole night in his Bugatti Veyron driving down Las Vegas Strip. Right, but
Mayweather was always in shape. He was never out of shape. Even when he was out for the 2 years he retired and he came back to fight Marquez. The way he schooled Marquez. Oh my god! But he still was never out of shape. I think that's the difference between a good boxer and an elite boxer.
Another thing, talking about a chin again, I think he's gotten a lot better than he used to be. I don't think he has a glass chin. Maybe he has a plastic chin, but
it's repairable.
Yeah. It's a lot better than it used to be.
Into shape.
I think, but he's always an exciting fight. You always get an exciting fight
with Amir Khan.
Yeah, when you watch Amir
Khan. To be honest, because he's a prominent British fighter, we're gonna watch him more than anybody. We're always watching prominent British fighters.
A lot of people say to me, you hate on Khan. I don't hate on him. I'm just honest. And for me, as it stands right now, I don't think he's going to win. I think he may have a little outside chance if he can use his speed to his advantage and he works on his movement, footwork. A little outside chance.
I sincerely hope he proves us wrong.
Yeah. Honestly, I do. If he wins, then for me, he's on top of the boxing world now.
I'm rooting for him. But I just
can't see it happening, honestly. I've spoken to quite a few people. Certain people say he's got no chance at all. Literally, death wish. He's gone in, he's done. Might as well not even train.
Anyway, speaking of fighting, MMA, so there's a McGregor.
Yeah, McGregor was supposed to fight a guy called Rafael dos Anjos, who was the 155 lightweight champion. So he was coming up, McGregor is the featherweight champion. He was coming up to the weight division above to fight the champion there. But then Rafael dos Anjos got injured. And so they had a replacement it was only 2 weeks up to the fight and they had to find a last minute replacement.
Has he actually broken his foot?
Apparently, and I saw a picture.
Conor McGregor make a statement saying all he needed was ice and ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Apparently that's what he said. It was only a bruised foot.
I saw a picture of his foot and it did look quite nasty. But then fighters always have injuries, etc. I'll be honest, I'm a wimp. So as soon as I've got a little paper cut, that's it. I'm in bed for a week. But fighters are fighters. They used to get punches in the face day in and day out. So there you are. But what happened is So they've got a guy who is called Nate Diaz, a very exciting fighter. He's a very good fighter. You don't want to go on the ground with him. His jiu-jitsu is just amazing. But what makes this fight exciting for the next few weeks anyway, the build-up, is he's a shit talker of the elite level. He's got a PhD in his talking shit. He's just so funny, I swear. And so I'm looking forward to some of the build-up to the fight. It's going to be exciting.
So what do you think is going to win the war of words between Nate Diaz and Colin McGregor?
It's going to be nice and like equal because they talk at a different level. Yeah. McGregor will talk down to him, as in, you're not on my level, I'm the king, etc. Nate Diaz will kind of give him that whole, I'm a gangster, I'll effing do this and effing and jeffing and that type of thing, yeah? So,
was it interview who was talking about ninja stuff?
Yeah.
I read this something about hashtag ninja stuff. What was that all about?
No, that might have been his brother.
Was that his brother
or him?
I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
He was talking about fighting McGregor and doing some ninja stuff.
I think they're both funny as how both brothers. The Diaz brothers are funny. So I'm looking for. I was a bit upset. I was like, oh man, this fight is been called off and whatever. But
the most interesting thing is they're fighting out 170.
Oh yes, yeah. So he's gone up 2 weight classes.
Yeah, I've read about that.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. But he's been looking like a beast in training, man. Some pictures out and he's looking massive, huge.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
I saw a YouTube video actually a couple of days back, and I thought, hey, what's going on here? This guy's a lot
Because-
bigger than last time I saw him.
I remember his last fight, just before the build-up for his last fight, the middleweight champion Luke Rockhold called him a dehydrated leprechaun. And
Because he doesn't look like that
yeah,
anymore.
he does not look like, he looks like a beast. Yeah. But then does that translate to footwork and power? Because he's got amazing footwork and speed. Sorry, obviously he'll have included power. He'll have more power, but will the speed still be there? The reaction time, is that still going to be there with the extra weight on him? So there's a few questions.
He'll still have his timing, but it might be affected by the extra weight.
Yeah, but the speed, like you've got the timing, but if you ain't got the speed to pull it off.
Exactly.
Remember the Muhammad Ali movie with Will Smith, where he's like, oh, this punch is coming out, boom. And so he says after it, I knew it was coming, I just couldn't react to it. Yeah. So let's see what happens. It should be an interesting fight, I think.
Do you think it's an easy win for McGregor, or
it should be, because there's only 2 weeks notice for Diaz, and Diaz obviously he probably sat around smoking weed all day. So, it should be a good fight while it lasts, but it should be an easy win for McGregor.
Hopefully it's not as short as his last fight.
No, it'll be a bit longer. I think it'll be an exciting fight.
Yeah.
When is it?
It's March 5th.
March 5th, okay.
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks.
Yeah, next week, isn't it?
Actually, it is next week. Next Saturday.
Next Saturday, yeah.
Right, well, no doubt we'll be talking about that soon enough.
Yeah.
Well, what else is happening?
Right. You've been to cinemas recently?
So,
Actually, we did a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? We went to Man 3.
oh yeah.
I watched it, Man3. What do you think of that? That was interesting, actually.
It's alright.
I thought they had a bit of that love story thing going on, which you don't see.
I'll be honest, Mike Tyson's appearance in that film was just totally out of place. It just didn't fit. Honestly, it didn't.
No,
it was weird, wasn't it?
It was
weird.
weird.
Particularly the way when he has the fight.
Yeah.
I understand why they put him in, because everyone loves Mike Tyson. And so in China, where they're marketing the movie, obviously, everyone's like, oh, Tyson's in there. So, it was pretty big hit. Tyson would be a big hit.
To be honest, I hadn't even heard of the fact that there was a third film until I heard that Mike Tyson was in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually didn't know until the night when Scoop mentioned it to me.
Alright.
Oh, right.
So I've seen the first 2.
Right, yeah.
And you say you're watching it Man 3. I didn't even know it was up.
It came out a while ago, actually. We watched it late.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Did we?
Yeah. But I think we watched it about a weekend, 2 weeks ago.
Or maybe it's just hard trying to find it.
It wasn't a massively screened movie. It's not a blockbuster. Not by a long
But I enjoyed it. I mean, I loved them.
Good fight scenes, definitely.
Yeah, decent.
If you're into fight scenes, definitely.
Yeah, they're inspiring.
Yeah.
Oh, Deadpool.
I've not seen it.
My word, that was hilarious.
That was too funny, man.
Like I said after I watched it, bloody hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I had this conversation with Scoop. He asked me before the film came out, "What have you watched the trailers?" I went, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you find it funny?" I went, "No." So he found it really weird. I'm not too sure if I'm the only one that doesn't find Deadpool funny. But I see it. I've watched one little bit. I've not watched the film, but I've seen the trailers.
Oh, you can't watch the film, man.
The movie is awesome. I swear I was laughing the whole way through, man. And there was 2 points in the cinema. One point, I just cracked up laughing because it was hilarious, but nobody else was laughing. And I think what happened is it was a really clever joke, so you kind of have to get it.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did nobody laugh? And then later on in the movie, I did it again, and I thought, oh my god,
maybe that's what my issue is.
I better not laugh.
I had to point out that as well, when me and my friend were laughing. My friend was smacking me with his elbow, and I was busy crying. Well, I really enjoyed it. It was different.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's my issue. Maybe I'm not clever enough to even get the jokes.
No, it's
No, he's just weird.
Yeah, my sense of humour is a little
Twisted.
unique.
Twisted.
It's unique, yeah. But they had an issue with the Fox Studios because it's been in making for like many years, and Fox didn't want to release it because they said, oh, you know, it's R-rated and only adults are going to watch it. We need to capture the kids, etc. So what they did is only 4 people had access to that footage. One of them leaked the footage online, and everyone went nuts over the footage. Like, oh my god, this looks amazing! Make that movie. When's it coming out? You know, all the rest of it. There's only about 2 years. I think it might have been 2 years ago when that footage was released. But out of them 4, nobody yet knows who did it because they all asked each other. Was it you? Was it you?
What footage was that? Was that the one with the car crash thing?
I can't remember.
Oh.
So they made some test footage, and somebody just kind of released that because Fox had said we're not going to make it. But then when they saw the reaction, they were like, damn, we're going to make this movie, we have to. And it came out, and I think it's broken records left and right. And we went, and the cinema was packed out. Mind you, I think, we went on early on. What happened now is they've decided already that there's going to be a part 2. It's too good, yeah. So the genre, I mean, we've grown up with superhero movies, haven't we? And we're at that age now where you might want some adult jokes, you might not mind some adult jokes in there. So they don't really have to connect to the child audience. Just give us our, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. That part 1 was so annoying. It was too childish for me. And I grew up watching,
Apart from the one reference to Wu-Tang.
Yeah. But other than that, it's really childish. I want something a little more adult,
What was the rating on that in the UK?
On Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't tend to look at ratings. Oh, you mean like review ratings? Yeah. Review ratings?
Oh, no,
the age.
Oh, that's probably 15, 18. I don't know.
18?
No, I don't tend to look at that.
No.
15, I'd guess.
That would be pretty interesting considering 13. Quite a lot of adult jokes in it.
Yeah. But it was higher than a lot of the ones. A lot. Was it 12 is what you normally see?
No,
was it
you?
Or whatever, man. I don't even know what the new ratings are. I don't give a toss about it.
I remember when I was about 11 years old and I went to watch Halloween or something, like a 18 rated movie.
Right.
I was proper nervous. I'm like, they're not gonna, I was with my cousins and I was like, there's no way they're gonna. It was like Jason, the mask, the guy with the mask.
Oh, Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Halloween.
Halloween
H2O.
Right. So it was one of them, and it was an 18. It was literally, it was rated an 18. So we went to the cinema, and I was like really nervous. And my cousin, they went and they got the tickets, and I was like, oh god, I'm scared or whatever. And they went in, and I'm looking like a kid, 11 years old, 12 years old. Yeah, no problem, mate, bro. Didn't care.
No idea.
No, nothing. My cousins were just a few years older than me. Even they weren't 18. One of them was just a year older, and the other one maybe a few years, and they didn't care. Just go and watch the movie, have a laugh.
Where was that cinema? Oldham?
No, in Manchester.
Oh, I was going to say if it's Oldham, it explains a lot. But,
Right, what else?
Facebook. So there was some incident around. Was it Mark Zuckerberg himself who wrote Black Lives Matter in his office?
What happened is they have a whiteboard in the office so people can put some random thoughts on there, whatever. And every now and again, somebody goes up and puts on their Black Lives Matter, and somebody else has been going up and scrubbing it out and putting All Lives Matter.
All right.
And so Mark Zuckerberg had seen it around the office or something, and so he put out a countrywide memo saying, please don't do this. It's patronising and it's a sort of sensitive issue, so just leave it. Don't put up the All Lives Matter thing. If it says Black Lives Matter, leave it as that. And what happened is somebody did it again, and they've been doing it consistently. So he's either seen it or it's been brought to his attention, and he said, look, this is just ridiculous. Now we're going to investigate it, and somebody's in trouble, basically.
But what's wrong with saying All Lives Matter?
What do you think? I
think you have to kind of put it in context for me. I mean, when it comes to Black Lives Matter, I think that only applies to probably generally America, where black people are getting persecuted by police and all that type of stuff, and then it's relevant there. but I don't think it's relevant worldwide. I don't think there's an issue each way, to be honest. Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter.
Yeah, don't you think there's like an institutionalized racism in the UK?
I think there is. There was some interesting experiments done. I can't remember when it was a few years back.
Hang on, here's just before that.
Yeah, go on.
Institutionalized racism, how about Islamophobia is rampant everywhere in the Western world?
Yeah,
that I don't think can be denied.
Yeah. No,
and
what
that's
I'm about
a
to say,
form of racism.
what I'm about to say is what touches on this as well. So, have you come across those experiments that were done around the name on the CV?
Oh yes, I have.
I've not heard about this. Enlighten me.
So they took one standard CV, right? So they filled it out with some details, and they used the same details as in the content, the body of the CV, and they printed out a number of versions of them, but they put a different name on it.
Right.
And one name would have been a typical English name.
Yeah.
Another name might have been perhaps something that sounded a little exotic.
Yeah.
Right? Sounded maybe Asian or Muslim. Another one maybe sounded like they were of a different race. And what they found was the person whose name, or if the name on the CV felt English or white, they got called back for an interview.
And anybody who sounded Muslim or Afro-Caribbean or whatever else, they were like, the callback rate was much lower.
Who did this study?
I can't remember. It's a prominent one. It's been done more than once.
I just remembered it now, so I think what I'll do is I'll look up the detail for our next one, and then we'll scrutinise it.
Yeah.
Scrutinise it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it does exist here. The only difference is this: in the States, at least, like Malcolm X once said, at least he was talking about the white people at that particular juncture. I think it might even be the Ku Klux Klan. He was saying, I respect them more. Yeah, he was saying, I respect the Ku Klux Klan more than our government, because the Ku Klux Klan, at least they tell you where they stand.
Yeah, he said that. But I think in today's day and age, Malcolm X in his time had a very valid point. But had Malcolm been alive today, he would be a part of some type of movement to, like the Black Lives Matter, because the political climate has now changed where you can actually force them to be in your favor. What he tried to do towards the end of his life is bring it to international fame, bring his his kind of civil rights movement. He tried to change it to a human rights movement. Yeah. He tried to bring it in for the UN. Had it have been brought in for the UN, the USA would have been embarrassed because it's the world power. But look what they're doing. They're not giving rights, equal rights, even though they are claiming they are, and etc. But in today's day and age, because any news that comes out anywhere in the world is going to go online, and it can be seen anywhere in the world. Social media, Twitter, whatever it might be. So how many of these videos have we seen now of police shootings that have happened somewhere in America? We probably never.
Websites dedicated to it now. You can go and see it.
Before the shooting in Ferguson, I'd never heard of Ferguson, Missouri. We just hadn't heard of it, but now we know because there was a famous shooting there. Somebody police killed a young African American child, and so it brings prominence to it. Now the other thing with the Black Lives Matter, I heard somebody give this kind of example. I can't remember it properly, but he said something along the lines of, he said, look, if your mother is in hospital and somebody comes and gives, says, how is she doing? I hope she gets better, etc. You can't then, and somebody says, my mother matters. Somebody can't then, at that juncture, come and say, all mothers matter. Because obviously all mothers do matter, but in this particular context, it's about that person's mother who is in hospital, and so you're kind of wishing them the best, etc. So
I think you have to put it in context,
there's a particular problem that is pointed out, and then when you come and say something to the extent that's more inclusive, which is great conceptually, but you're taking away the effect that it's meant to be having.
Yeah, the effect is meant to be happening is look at this particular one group of people, because you can, instead of saying all lives matter, you can just say human beings matter. And then now you're going to say, look, there's the African American cause, there's the cause of the Rohingya people in what's that? Burma, and there's the cause,
Palestinian cause,
the Palestinian cause, there's the Chinese, human rights cause. There's a whole bunch of causes out there, but these are trying to bring their own cause to light. today. So when you say all lives matter, it's very patronizing.
Yeah.
And it's like if you say Islamophobia and somebody says, oh well, all religions are persecuted against by the new atheist movement. Well, flipping like, yeah, okay, we accept that. But with Muslims, the issue is a little bit different.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're called terrorists all the time for crying out loud. If we say something against the government, we're in trouble for being extremists. There was a guy the other day, a Muppet, by the name of Tawfiq Hamid. And I don't know who he is, or I've never heard of him before, but he's part of a think tank, and he said that anybody who wears a hijab, and this there was a publication, it was done for the American Navy, I think it was, and he said that any female who wears the hijab, it's tantamount to passive terrorism.
What?
So wearing the hijab is passive terrorism. Now, this idiot is a part of this whole kind of modernist movement. Yeah, he's Muslim by name. I don't know if he's whatever he might be. He may be a Muslim, he may be now an atheist where he left the religion, I'm not sure. But he's a part of this industry where you make a lot of money for saying stupid things. I swear to God, I could become a millionaire within a few weeks if I was willing to compromise on my religion, because I know I'm smart enough to write nonsense.
Yeah.
And if you're smart enough to write nonsense, you know enough about the religion to write nonsense like saying anybody wearing a hijab is a passive terrorist, you'll get money, you'll get funded by the flipping neo-atheists movement, because they want you to, patronize the religion, etc. So, yes. So there are many causes out there, unfortunately, and everybody has their right to bring their
saying
cause.
all lives matter or Black Lives Matter. Again, you just have to put it into context. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying all lives matter.
And we shouldn't lose sight of the fact
I think there is.
Sorry, we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that racism exists here as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I think people often fall for a common fallacy that racism doesn't exist anymore in the UK.
I was the victim of racism at work not too long ago.
Seriously?
And I had it in the streets here in Manchester not too long ago.
I had one of my colleagues had a call and he asked me to take it because he was struggling with a customer he had on the phone, so I agreed. So I've got on the phone, I've introduced myself. Straight away this guy didn't get his name between. First thing he said, can I speak to somebody British please?
Oh god, that's funny.
Oh.
So I was like, can I ask you what the issue is? He goes, no, I want to speak to somebody British, somebody I can communicate with.
Oh no.
I was like, my English isn't that bad. It's probably not the best, but it's not the worst either. There's going to be no communication issues at all. So how can I help you? From there, he obviously went off on one. Effing and jeffing, all sorts. Said if you carry on, I'm going to tell you. The colleague carried on, so I put the phone down. But the funny thing is, the funniest thing is, it was an Asian guy who initially took the call. He transferred it to me. I'm Asian. And then he called in again. I guess who got the call?
Another Asian. Is this call center?
Now, you know what he's going to say now?
Yeah.
They're taking over. They're taking over, man.
Taking all our jobs. Bring Donald Trump in. Get this issue sorted.
Build the wall around the store.
But your point on saying all lives matter isn't a big issue. I think it is a big issue because when you say it's a loaded term, it refers to the anti-Black Lives Matter. Do you understand? So it's in direct it's a direct parallel, and it's directly in opposition to Black Lives Matter. If there wasn't a movement called Black Lives Matter, then saying all lives matter wouldn't really matter. It wouldn't be a big deal. Do you understand? But because there's a movement called Black Lives Matter, then you have Fox News, KKK, Donald Trump type people saying all lives matter just to be patronizing.
Yeah, it undermines it.
So it's undermining. So I see your point because we don't live in the United States. So we live here. So if we don't know about that issue, then we're thinking, what's the big deal? But because I'm a little bit aware of the issue, I've been reading up on it, etc. So I'm like, I understand that. Actually, no, it really does. It's very offensive. Yeah.
In the same breath, all lives do matter.
They do,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But again, you have to put it in context to give it a certain understanding. Yeah, definitely, I agree.
It's a bit like if I said Palestinian lives matter, and then you said no, all Arab lives matter, or all lives matter. That's taken away from the fact that they are experiencing a unique circumstance.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
and they're victims of a particular circumstance.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, see you later.
Bye.